Hello everyone, I am Cheryl Alchemini. I'm starting a new series on this channel called Room Diaries. I'm not exactly the best builder in the world. There are far more aesthetic builds out there, and I'm just beginning my journey here to continue improving over time in design. I usually start my builds with a blueprint or a practice room before filming the final version. I also do these blueprints for my MakeRoom streams. It gives me an idea for the blocking of where everything should be. Sometimes I still don't feel satisfied with what I put down in the final recording. So throughout this video, you'll see item colors change since I don't think it was the right palette for it. I thought of making a konbini today since I recently came upon the idea of third spaces. If you don't know what third spaces are, these are locations where people can hang out as social peers. Lately, there's been a decrease of them due to social media addiction. I used to go to a konbini a lot in high school. I would often hang out with my friends here. We would study for exams or talk about daily life together. Now it's just easy to pick up the phone or boot up Discord to catch up. Now, I go to a konbini alone. My usual order in a konbini is an onigiri with iced French vanilla. Or if I want a meal, I would go for a bento box with a chicken karaage. If it's one of those slower days, I would order a shinramyun. I love the red ones over the black packaging. The black packaging is usually the one that's the spiciest between the two, and it took a while to get used to the spiciness. So if you have tried it before, did you enjoy it? Or maybe not. And speaking of slower days, you must be wondering why I didn't just make this a speed build. I realized how dizzying a speed build video can be. Editing a speed build video makes my eyes hurt a little, so I thought about the viewers might shy away from this one since there's so many flashing lights on screen. I decided to make this video a bit easier on the eyes. And as we continue on in this video, you can see the build is slowly coming together. No? I thought of just putting this video together as some sort of highlights rather than having you all see the whole process of this. Unless someone specifically requested for a speed video and you guys are okay with seeing so many things move around in lightning speed, I'm okay with that one too. I'll put it. There's just so many times that I stop to think about what to put, even though I made a blueprint for it. Sometimes I'm just not satisfied. You would even see me, this isn't really symmetrical, I need to make this a bit symmetrical. And the funny thing is, I didn't used to be this creative. I never had a trained eye for visuals. I usually go with my instinct on what I think looks good and not necessarily what logically looks good. Does that make sense? Maybe it really is just by practicing for a lot of channels or creating a lot of builds or looking up references. And to be honest, konbinis are not really aesthetic. Some of them look good because of the incredible photographers over at Instagram and Pinterest. Sometimes it is just a product being showcased with a konbini, or maybe I just haven't visited enough konbinis. To be fair, it's probably both. I just love konbinis that look well lit from inside instead of the overhead white lights. I love a little light button moment in some of the tables and the shelves. It just makes it look cozy. But the reason why shelves at the konbinis are usually black or very bland is to avoid letting you see some dust. Light with shelves like this will make things noticeable for the customers, although they should be dusting a lot in the first place, and I have trust that they actually do. Now, this is the hard part of the build for me. Putting items on these shelves is more of a workout than I ever did in my entire life. I was overworking my finger tapping that I'm probably developing hand issues at this point. I'm not going to lie, if this konbini exists in real life, it is the most limited konbini ever. Like only 4 shelves and 2 fridges. Cheap. I have to work with what I got with MakeRoom's available food items, and as well as Steam Workshop's items. A lot that you see here in these builds comes from the players themselves. They do such an amazing job of recreating a lot of the known food items we have in real life. You'll see the samyang noodles as well as a few popular cereal boxes we have. If I have a few more food items, I would have included a confectionery and snacks aisle. I would have added candy packets and those choco pies and cookies. I mean, I could try to make them myself, but that's a whole nother video. I only started making rooms, and not really items. I have to learn how to 3D model. Right. If you made it this far in my build, thank you so much. It is wonderful to keep you company while I work on this in the background. I like to imagine that you are here in this konbini, working on things that you're doing now in one of the seats I provided. As I continued working on this, I started thinking about where this konbini actually is, and who is running it, and to whom does it actually cater to. I like to think this is a startup konbini franchise. I actually ended up meeting a lot of business owners before, back when I first had to register myself for taxes. I met people who runs an online shop. I met people who are TikTokers. I met people who runs a mechanic store, and I met a woman who's starting up her Japanese mart. She's actually the one who's one of the more encouraging individuals during the tax orientation we had. She asked for my YouTube channel, but I shyly had to turn her down from checking it. I told her I'm just a virtual character online. I'm not one of the YouTubers that show their faces. Surprisingly, she didn't really see that one as lame. She ended up just wishing me well on my business venture, and I did as well for her. Sometimes I think about whether or not her Japanese smart is doing well. I prefer to think that it's doing well now, as much as a startup could be at least. But for this konbini, I'm not sure what to name it. The color theme for this one is mostly pink. I'm thinking of naming it as Sakura Mart, but it is so common and not too creative. I like to think that this is actually a konbini within an all-girls school. I don't know if any of you encountered this, but some private institutions like a fancy hospital have their own lawsuits for some reason. I remember going to one of those hospitals that rich people get admitted to, and their whole cafeteria are separate food chains and their very own konbini store. It was a bizarre experience. Regular hospitals are usually surrounded by food chains and not the food chains within the building. I remember being so impressed while some rich person would casually walk past me getting a snack after staying so long in their family's room, completely lacking any sleep. If you're going to ask why I was even in a rich hospital anyway, I don't remember. But I promise I'm not in critical health or anything. I remember just needing to go there for a checkup. A momentary existential crisis aside, if any of you have a suggestion to what to call this konbini, you can leave a message for me in the comments. I find it funny how all of you are watching this 8-minute video when the actual building time I took was 2 hours. I'm not too sure if this is the standard building time for other build videos, but making this build itself felt like I've been doing it for an eternity. And now we have reached the end of this build. I only made a few adjustments to the seat to give a more visual storytelling element to it. So if you enjoyed your time here in Room Diaries, please give this video a like and a subscribe to my channel. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 5 AM PDT over at Twitch and YouTube. Come join me for a cozy chat, and I get to know you better. I'll see you all soon for the next video.